very capable of handling herself. She doesn't go into things blindly. I would like to think that the friendship can maintain itself and stay this way because, like I said, it was a true friendship. It really was.
So you think Teresa could truly change?
Oh, I don't know about that, but I think that she could be fine. As long as Jacqueline's not on the show, there's not that common denominator that can cause friction or a problem. So maybe it'll work well this time. I hope it does.
And it really was the show. I mean, I imagine because there really was a true friendship between those two. If it wasn't for the show, they probably would have never fallen out.
I would agree with that. Sure. Hmm.
What about Luis? I mean, Luis went golfing with Chris. I mean, like, do you know him at all, Luis? Like, do you ever see him around New Jersey?
I've no. She lives about 20 minutes away from me, so we wouldn't be in the same areas. No, I've never met him. I saw him at BravoCon in passing, but we didn't say anything to each other. We weren't really ever in the same room or spot at the same time. It was always like kind of from afar. But I have no opinion. He seems to make her happy. So
And if you ran into Teresa in New Jersey, even though you guys live a few minutes away or far away, like it would just, you would say hi.
I don't know if I'd say hi. If she was in my face, I'd be, get one of those head, what's up kind of things. But I'm not gonna be like, hey, how are you? That's not our relationship at all. Yeah,
What would you say if you ran into Danielle Staub?
nothing. I'd walk right by her. Yeah.
So if you had to go on a deserted island with either Teresa or Danielle, which one would you choose?
Um,
For a week, Caroline, for a week.
I'm gonna say Danielle because she's a survivor. Yeah.
She would hunt and fish and
She
provide.
listen. She's a survivor. You can't take it away from her.
She is a survivor. Do you regret anything for that you did on RHONJ or your time on?
My God, do you have 5 hours? I regret a lot of things. I regret a lot of fashion choices. Regret a lot of makeup choices and hair choices because this is like, I never thought of myself of being, you know, talent TV kind of thing. So it's like, all right, wear this today. It's like getting up on a Saturday morning, put it on because it's comfortable, and you're looking on TV and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? Tons of that. As far as behavior, sure, there were times that I was short with people because I was aggravated, stuff like that. I don't take anything back. If I ever said anything, I meant it, you know. So sure, over 5 years on that, there's plenty of moments that you kind of want to take back, but then it goes with the whole package. There were plenty of moments that were phenomenal. So you got to take the good with the bad.
Well, the fact that you never considered yourself reality TV talent, this is why you are a fan favorite. This is why people love you because they know that what they get from you is real and it's not what the show has morphed into, where there's hair and makeup and costumes and everyone is, angling for what they're going to say on air as opposed to just reacting in real time.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work now, I think, doing that. Too much to remember, too much to think about. Just, put your lip gloss on and go, girl. Just do it. you know?
Well, that's why the advice you gave to your step niece Danielle is the right advice of like just hold on and just be in the moment, right? Like be real and don't go in with preconceived notions.
Mm-hmm. Camera doesn't lie. Ultimately, it's going to get you. Mm-hmm.
Do you think her and Teresa's friendship could go the distance?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
can Danielle, Teresa's we know how Teresa can be. Can Danielle handle herself if Teresa eventually one day decides Danielle might be, enemy number whatever we're on now?
Yeah. Yeah. She's got a lot of Teresa in her.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that. You talk about like the show and like what things have done to like relationships. Like I know, you and Dina, don't speak at this point. Do you blame that on RHONJ?
Um, you can't. No, you can't blame it completely on RHONJ. There. I think what a lot of the times when you see where people say the show, there had to have been underlying issues before the show with any problems that people are having. So I think it just gets piled onto and becomes a breaking point to some. That's all I could say about it.
Right. It's true. It's like people that end up divorcing and they blame it on the show. It's like if you really have a marriage that is rock solid,
Right.
it's not going anywhere.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
What about, I know, you're close with Dolores. Like Dina just recently said that the real reason she didn't go to Teresa's wedding was because of Dolores, and Dolores was going to be there, and Dolores is really close to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Listen, I don't, if someone, perfect example, Dolores is very close with Teresa. And I support that relationship. You can't own people in life, right? So you could say, all right, I don't like that you're friends with this person, but you could still respect them as a human being. Just, keep my name out of your mouth kind of thing. And that's my philosophy. So it's upsetting when as an adult, you should be able to navigate that a little bit.
right. Like your, whoever you have an issue with doesn't mean, right. It's like it's separation of church and state, so to
Right.
speak.
Right.
Just keep your name out of their mouth.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. There is this narrative out there now too that, like Dina and Dave have kind of fallen out with Luis and Teresa. Does any part of you then feel, like Dina is your sister at the end of the day, whether you're speaking or not? So, I mean, considering you and Teresa don't necessarily get along and you hear that they have fallen out, does any part of you kind of sigh of relief?
No, no, again, I don't own people and I don't direct them who to hang out with. So no. And I don't know anything about the scenario, what happened, or I've heard a lot of stories, both ways. So it's one of those things that I'm just from afar and I don't even pay attention to it really.
That makes sense. And before we move on from this topic, like, I mean, do you foresee reconciling with Dina anytime in the foreseeable future?
Probably not. Mm-mm.
Well, you're busy with Food, Love, and Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an ideal guest that you want? Like if you just had Isaac to your house. I mean, by the way, I just would like you to know on my bucket list of things to do in my life, it is to, leave New York City and come across the river and cook with you in that iconic kitchen. Just FYI.
And
But
come and cook.
I would love to come cook. Who would you like if you could just, choose anyone off the top of your head or people, who would you love to have on Food, Love, and Chaos?
Well, unfortunately, the one person that I would have loved to have is no longer on the earth, but it would have been Betty White because she would have had to have stories. I love somebody that with stories. I want to hear your stories, and I love a big personality. So she would have been really fun to have. Um, just compiling a little list of uh, a wishful thinking list, and I won't give you any names, but more often than not, which is